Materials design for virtual environments. This video was made for the intermediate collaborative task 2. My name is Juan Felipe Paez, and in this video I'm going to explain how can we use the simple present in different kinds of education contexts and in different stages of learning. First of all, the commonest teaching materials related to the simple present. The simple present lesson is usually developed using the context in the first stages. In primary education, usually we don't use grammar for this topic. We usually tend to use stories, habits, or leisure activities in order to describe how to use this topic. In elementary education, we usually show the simple present with grammar rules. In the simple present, we can identify three features or characteristics. The first one is the affirmative. In order to do this, in order to teach the affirmative simple present, in primary education we use habits and leisure activities in the form of worksheets and different types of activities or collaborative activities. The second is the negative form of the simple present. We can use likes and dislikes and the use of don't and doesn't in the third person in order to teach the negative form. The last one and the number three is the interrogative form. We can use it showing interviews and presentations. Here's where grammar meets real conversation using questions and answering questions. So we can divide the simple present in two. The first one in primary education where we don't use grammar, we use context and we use activities like describing habits or leisure activities in order to enhance this topic. The second step is the elementary education. When we show grammar rules and we usually use other topics and other lessons that involve the simple present, like WH questions. Now here are some examples of the simple present teaching materials. In the first two activities, personally I have used these activities in my classes in second grade and third grade for the simple present primary education. The first one is leisure activities. What is the purpose of this? The purpose of this activity is to enhance the students' vocabulary, so students will be able to identify their favorite leisure activities and put them in context. For example, in this worksheet that you can see on the left side, the students have to complete 15 sentences with the words on the left. These are easy words for kids between 8 to 12 years old. You can see examples like coffee shop, computer game, go for a drive, go for a walk. If you take a look at the first exercise, it says, every weekend my sister and I go to a swimming pool near our home. We love to. This exercise usually shows the simple present, and this can be adapted to enhance the vocabulary. In the second activity, in the center of the screen, you can see activities that are represented in habits. Students can easily learn these pictures and match them with the activities. For example, get up, have a breakfast, brush your teeth, go to school. This is the simple present in form of habits. This is something very easy and very fun for kids, and they usually learn this very quickly. In the third and in the fourth picture, we can see examples of activities made by elementary education. Sixth grade and seventh grade were using this activity, and we can see that some other lessons have been adapted for this. One of them is the WH question. In the third picture, you can see questions like how often or what, one of the WH question, or how much. In the fourth picture, you can see the use of do or does to make questions, and the use of do, don't, does, or doesn't to make short answers. We can easily understand and see the difference between lesson with the simple present for primary and a lesson with the simple present for um, elementary education, which is very easy to understand. In primary education, we don't use grammar. In elementary education, we usually use grammar, and we usually set this kind of exercises where they can put in practice their grammar skills. What do we have to consider in order to develop the right materials according to the language ability to be taught or to be learned? The students are very different in every context, depending on the sociocultural background, the previous knowledge, and the level of English. All students are different and they need different activities depending on the stage of learning. In this case of a simple present, the acquisition of this lesson can be done in several ways, taking into account the age, the purpose, and the objective of the activity. As we said, in primary education, didactics is mainly used for teaching this lesson, and we can adapt this to topics like habits or leisure activities, likes, dislikes, scenarios, conversations, and so others. Now, in elementary, we usually have to change our thing regardless this topic because this topic simple present can be taught using grammar rules and adapting them to interviews, presentation, and reading activities. The way to teach this lesson usually change from year to year, and the needs of the students should be considered when we choose the materials. Not all the stages of learning are the same, and usually kids tend to have less vocabulary than teens. So in elementary, when we work with teens, we usually have more vocabulary and we can make more sentences and use grammar in real context thanks to their acquisition of vocabulary. So we have to adapt the material to the age of the students. We can teach simple present from second or third grade to ninth grade, for example. But we have to change every year the way and the materials how we teach when we teach the simple present.